Last of days, I'm just tearing some fiberglass up to stick up there. Got a couple of sections here. So one's got to go around there and wrap in there. Next one working your way down. Just tearing this out. Another one there. I need that to go down there. Tear this in half. Down the middle there. So that will give me this end there and there. And the reason we tear it is because this will mat together quite seamlessly. And if you're doing the edges, it's a lot easier to sand that out and feather it out and lose the edge rather than cutting it. If you cut it, you get a solid hard line. Okay, if you tear it, those wispy bits all mat together nicely. And that's the plan anyway. So that's the glass that I need. Now I've got to mix up some resin, brush that on there and start laying some mat. Always make sure you give your resin a good shake up. Even if it's only been sitting an hour or so, just give it a little shake before you use it. If it's been sitting longer, definitely give it a good mix up. I'm starting to see a change in colour now. So you want to see a fairly quick change in colour. You know you've got enough catalyst in there. It shouldn't be instant. If you put it in and it goes instant sort of brown from a pink or blue or green or whatever colour you're using, you've probably over catalysed it. But within a minute, you know, of mixing it in, 30 seconds to a minute, that should be changing colour. If it's not, you've under catalysed it. It's got to be mixed in thoroughly so that it's all covered, it's all mixed up, and it's got the hardener incorporated into all of it. So what I've done is I've filled all the gaps on here and I've let that set up, but it's still slightly tacky. So I haven't had to sand it yet. I can go wet on wet. So because it's not set yet and it's still tacky, I can get my next layer on and that will all bond together then. So it's wet on wet then. That's fine, you know. As soon as that sets, I've got to sand it. I'm going to get a good layer of resin over this lot, slap it all on there. I've put some masking tape down to cover my previous work down there. I want to try not to ruin this. I have got to glass to that when I put in my new side with the cupboard lockers, so it's going to be getting some work on it anyway, but I want to try and keep as much of the muck off as I can. So that bit there is actually done to a point. So that's that vertical side done. Just brush off that excess resin so it don't run everywhere. A little bit on this. This is a vertical. Catching the drips. Then we've got to get into the bit that everyone hates. Fiberglassing upside down. If you've ever had to do it, you'll know what I mean. It is actually a lot easier wetting out with a roller when you're doing the upside downy bits. I find it is anyway. Now I want enough on there that it's nice and wet, so when I put my cloth up there it will stick. And the only trouble with that is it does when you get a lot of drippage. So all trying to run down your arm and your gloves and everything else, and it is what it is. Messy, but it's got to be done. A few little drips, I'll let them set and they'll just ping off because this is pretty smooth. Usually what I do is I put my plastic down, but it's in my way. Right, there's some fiberglass. I'm going to wrap this around here. So what I've got is nice rounded edges, so this should conform around all of that. And I broke it down into smaller chunks, like into thinner strips, make it easier to work with rather than trying to do it all in one section. I've tried that in the past and it just ends in a mess. It makes it really hard work. So what I've got to do is just get this all wetted out. And then this will start sticking. I'll get some more resin mixed up in a minute. Ain't got long with this now, it's going to start to go off. That's the other thing, you need to get the resin out of the bowl as quick as possible. The more you've got mixed up, the quicker it will go off, because it's a thermic reaction, creates heat. The thicker the layer you've got, the quicker it will go off. There we go. Nearly done. It's starting to kick. Got to get that on quick and then roll it out. Push the air out. Get it all rolled. It's not actually the resin going, it's got some fiberglass strands in there. It looked like it was starting to set up on me, but it's not. Rolled out quickly. Make sure we've got our resin right through it. On pretty flat brush. Quite a nice flat surface, that section, so this will be the challenge, the bit where it rolls around. I don't want to push too hard, I don't want to slide the glass around. I just want to roll the air out, pushing the glass flat to the boat. What I don't want is voids like I had up here. I'll get that rolled down quickly and then I'll get the next bit on. That's where you get your air on the edges there, look. Any little extra bits sticking over the side will be sanded off eventually. That's fine. My head's got to be in the way for some of this small boat. There's not really anywhere else to put the camera. Alright, there we go, that's that bit. So what I'll do now is get the next bit on, get that all joined in before that starts setting up. This a little bit less in this time, got a little tiny bit more resin actually. The temperature was really cold this morning, but it's warmed up a little bit now. So what that means is you've got to adjust your mix. So a little bit less catalyst. So it doesn't kick off quite as fast. And a little bit longer working time.